I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that the environmental impact assessment is essentially a good instrument. However, as you have heard this morning, I also believe that improvements to the actual practice are required. Many of these improvements have to do with the way in which the assessment process is implemented. The approach that we have now adopted in the province of Zuid-Holland demonstrates that it is indeed possible to introduce improvements successfully. Environmental management is a responsibility which extends beyond national borders. It's one way in which the people of different countries can be made aware of their commonality and of their links with the earth itself. I hope that this conference will make a significant contribution in this respect.
Businesses often mistakenly think that undertaking an impact assessment procedure and publishing an impact assessment report is tantamount to being awarded the relevant permits. This is not the case. I've demonstrated that with my example. More effort is required, and basically that amounts to active and direct stakeholder engagement. And another mistake that businesses sometimes make is that they have their project designers work in isolation from the biologists, sociologists and other experts who draw up impact assessments. It's vital to ensure interaction and adjustments and introduce learning in the process.
It seems me from your speech that progress is higher than environment, that this railway station has higher interest than one small fish. Maybe I understand bad, but I would like to say that we have, and it is not easy for species which is called human. Yes, it is not easy for us to say that our interests are not higher than interests of the other species. Thank you very much.
I basically totally agree. If I make a little joke in the beginning, it is to illustrate the sort of dilemmas that we have to face as society at large. And the solution of the dilemmas is not the company who decides it, and it is society who decides what choices have to be made.
While you must be admired for all your efforts, sacrifices, and your great scientific exploits in IAIA, there is the need for some convergence of techniques, terminologies, and practices. There is the need also to streamline and simplify them for ease of comprehension, acceptability, and utility, especially for non-IAIA professionals and others.
Why don't we dare to be storytellers? Why not tell the story of life in the affected community, with and without the project? The story should already be there, buried somewhere in the EA report. Why then revert to quantifications and cold graphics when we summarize the results? It is a story of risks, impacts, avoided impacts, reduced impacts on people and on nature, and the story of possible alternatives to the set course, which make impact assessment a truly exciting process.
We now see that there is greater need to move EIA upstream into policy assessment, programming, and planning. And it is even more obvious that we need to take positive improvements in the downstream implementation and follow-up of individual development projects.
We are offering you green electricity for the electricity you use and certificates for all the travel you have done. And we hope that by making in this way this conference CO2 free, that you will provide the world with your knowledge and make sure that all the paper you produce is produced in a way that serves the environment. Thank you.
For the electric utility industry in the whole northern, northwest United States. And we've also done one now.
government people. Again, capacity building is usually addressed to the local people and not to the government people. So they want
the major issues regarding the implementation of social impact assessment.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And it's about the sustainability impacts of mega sport events. So you can see here reasons for holding mega sport events like development policies and environmental stability, social improvement and improvement in the quality of life. And because it's a big project, there must be big impacts.
Hello everybody, my poster is about scale issues in policy analysis processes. It's often difficult to choose to select the right scale for analysis in a policy process. Here you can see lots of problems have interest and issues that play at different scales, as you can see here. You have to be very careful about the interactions between those scales. And few points of attention are given so that you can make sure that you deal correctly with these interactions between different scales.
The best poster is Heterogeneous Networks in Environmental Assessment. Example from large-scale project in Iceland.
What I was trying to do was map out the social process behind the IAIA, and I'm using what's it called? I can't remember.
I present this certificate to you in congratulations for the best poster for this conference.
Thank you.
Very well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have formed a dedicated working team to prepare a draft statement and policy briefing for the World Summit on Sustainable Development. This is what you can get. We wish to have your comments on this draft policy statement. This is our important contribution from a professional organization to the World Summit. Thank you.
Pleasure travel is meant to compensate for the CO2 you use or you produce when you travel from one place to another by airplane. So what we do is in a very certified way to take care that the CO2 you produce are being conserved in trees. That's it.
We're teaching a Brazilian guy who might win a game maybe 2 days from today how to eat a real Dutch herring. Here we go.
Babe, I did the bread series then. I will try now.
Okay, lift it up.
I'm sure that we will be the champion. And I'm now very happy for being here.
A consultant born near Loch Ness wanted the impact assessed, but the man was too lazy and the public went crazy. So the whole EIS was a mess.
There once was a man from Nantucket who did an IA of a bucket. He found its head pole, but it washed down a hole, and so in the end he said, never mind.
Over the last year, we had our editorial board vote on the best paper. And I have some rather bad news because Frank Van Clay, who has just been addressing you, is one of the winners of this prize. And the winners are Roel Slootweg, Frank van Clay and Marlies van Schooten on the wonderfully titled Function Evaluation as a Framework for the Integration of Social and Environmental Impact Assessment. I think they may have won it on the title alone.
What I'm liking about the conference this year, even more so than last year in Cartagena, which was my first was last year, is that all the sessions I've been to and the other sessions have all talked about the role of talking to people and being more socially conscious about what we're doing, even if it is from the technical side. So I'm really pleased with where this is going. I'm hoping to make Marrakesh next year because maybe we'll even take that next step. There's still a little too much technical. I want more social involved, but it's making the right steps. So I'm really pleased.
I'm a bit disappointed. I found the discussion not focused enough. I mean, I was in the workshop on the probably most difficult issue on sustainability impact assessment. And also, unfortunately, I was not there in the beginning, but I asked the chair of the workshop whether there was some guidance or framework set in, and apparently not. So I'm a bit disappointed about this.
I think the presentations have been variable. Some have been great, some are sort of routine, but I've enjoyed the contributions from the floor. So, yeah.